What's up, guys? This is Zach from Card Legends. We're out here in Boca Raton, Florida at Boca Breaks Card Shop. We're starting a new docu-series where we're going to be interviewing card shop owners, influencers, and just people within the hobby to kind of give us some insight as to what makes them successful within the hobby. So, like I said, we're here at Boca Breaks. We're going to go interview and sit down with Dave, maybe rip a box or two. So come on in and check us out. What's up, guys? This is Zach from Card Legends. I'm here with Dave from Boca Breaks out here in Boca. Appreciate you taking the time to do this interview. So we're going to start off just first. Tell me a little bit about how you got started and how you started this card shop.
Well, I've always been a collector growing up, and kind of stopped collecting for a while. Life happens.
Yep.
And then back in 2012, I started to all of a sudden see these breaks popping up on eBay and stuff like that.
Right.
I'm like, oh, what is this? So I started to join a couple of breaks, and then that's how I got back into the hobby again. And then next thing you know it, I started doing online breaks myself.
Okay.
And through our Facebook page, which we still run.
Toss them a follow.
Yeah. And so we've been breaking, for since 2017 we started breaking, and then we've been breaking since then. And in 2020, I decided to open up a shop because breaking from home was getting overwhelming with the sorting and shipping and all that stuff. I needed help. So the intention was, when I decided to open up the shop, was to get a bigger place, to be able to run the breaks and do the sorting and the shipping. And the retail was just going to be a little extra.
Right.
Especially also because for, companies like Upper Deck, you need a brick and mortar store to be able to get an account with them. So that was a part of it too, because we're very big into hockey. So that's why we decided to open the shop. And it was, of course, it was definitely nervous at first because there weren't that many shops in the area, because shops weren't around anymore like they used to be. And so it was definitely a gamble I took.
Yeah.
And at the same time, COVID happened, of course.
Yeah.
And then the whole market just blew up with sports cards, and I literally had to stop actually breaking for 6 months because the shop was so busy.
Sure.
And just focusing on the retail, and then we got back to breaking, of course, because that's our bread and butter.
Yeah.
That's what we're used to. That's what we opened, and I was fortunate to be able to have accounts with certain distributors that I already had before I opened up the shop. So that really helped me already get in the door with them with being able to get products.
Sure.
And which is important.
Yeah.
In that hobby and stuff. So that's basically how I got started, and here we are today, 4 years.
Going strong.
Going strong. Yeah.
Okay, so what kind of really, I know you kind of gave us some background on how you started, but, from whether it was growing up or before you got into it, what really inspired you to, get into the hobby, open up a card shop?
Yeah.
Was this something you always wanted to do when you were younger? What really inspired it?
I've always I was always looking for card shops growing up. I mean, grew up in New York, but I came down to Florida in 1996 when I was 18. And so always looking through card shops, and there weren't that many. I know Lake Worth had one, and there weren't that many. So I was always into cards, but it was just on and off. And then the breaks, I started joining the breaks, and then that's what took off and got me really interested in cards more. And then it literally, especially, I was punching myself for not collecting during the 2003-4 LeBron James rookies. And all of a sudden I'm looking for LeBron James rookies, and then so I missed that. But I was able to actually back then get some of those to help, and start, and that's how I got more into collecting and stuff. And then I got really heavy into hockey, actually. And that's why I'm so passionate about hockey, and that's, I think, one of the things that I know that our shop stands out is that we carry a lot of hockey products, because we're a certified diamond dealer with Upper Deck, and
Okay, so that's great. So obviously, you got a great shop here, but it wouldn't be, where to stay if there weren't some bumps along the road and some challenges. So to anybody who wants to get into opening a shop or just get into the hobby, what are some of the biggest challenges you face trying to, get to where you are today? Yeah,
I mean, it's definitely challenging. You have to have all your, everything set up the way that a shop should be set up.
Sure.
And of course, there's no rules to how you want to set up your shop, but even before I opened, I was also nervous. Okay, how does the shop look? How is it supposed to be? Supplied. So I was just doing my research. I was looking at other shops, the way they have it set up, and it's very important, obviously, to have accounts with distributors or access to being able to get products, because a big part of having a retail shop is having the right products for customers that are coming in and wanting to break, to rip, to get into breaks, especially on release day. People are excited, people want the products, and that's a big plus to have if you have that the ability to get these products on release day, of course, and being able to have access to ordering more in the secondary market too and stuff. So yeah, I mean, being able to fill up your shelves with not just hobby boxes, but retail as well. Yeah. But hobby is definitely an important part of hobby boxes are a very important part of keeping the shop. Yeah.
So would you say if you don't have the ability to get the products, is it a little bit tougher to have a shop because you can't just sell singles or breaks, or do you have to have the product?
So I believe it's important to have the product, because I believe that you should have a little bit of everything in a shop. That's what really helps you when you can bring in a revenue that's coming in from different ways. Whether it's doing the breaks, whether it's selling hobby boxes, selling retail boxes, doing grading, and I think, in a part of the shop, of having a shop, it's not just, let me just cater to one group. Right. We try to cater to everybody, because, whether it's from coming in and getting the 25 cents cards in the bins, whether it's getting the $5, $10 cards, or the $100 slabs, or $1,000, slabs, compared to getting a $25, retail box compared to a $1,000 hobby box. So it's just a little bit for everything, and I do believe that it's important to have a little bit of everything in the shop for everybody.
Yeah, you just never know who's going to walk in and what they're going to be looking for.
100%, and you just don't know. I mean, there's days that we sell a lot of these, rookie base cards for 25 cents. There's people coming in and buying them, and it's not a lot of money, but it adds up. Yeah, and that's how you have to look at that. And definitely, it's important to have a little bit of everything in the shop, I believe.
Certainly. Yeah. I know you got all the product and the singles. How would you say your shop in particular has really evolved over the years, and where do you kind of see your shop in particular going? From here, is there anything you want more of, or how do you evolve with the market?
Right. Well, we would like definitely to have a bigger shop. Sure. It's keeping us from actually being able to have trade nights, which I believe would really be beneficial for not just the shop, but for our customers. But as far of how we stand out compared to other shops and what we do and what we provide is we obviously have the Upper Deck certified diamond dealer. As being able to carry new releases on not just hockey products, but new Marvel stuff that comes out. We are a PSA authorized dealer and SGC as well, and so that's a big part of the business is getting cards graded. Right. It's a way of getting customers in the door to not just when they come in to grade a card, now they're looking at products or what they can get, and then they start asking questions, and it leads to talking about the breaks, and it leads to singles, so the grading is definitely a big part of the business. The Upper Deck certified diamond deal, we're our tops. We have a direct tops account,
and that's something you didn't have at first, and now you kind of gotten more into.
Right, especially the PSA. You have to be submitting a lot of cards to be able to get to the dealer status, and which we've been doing. And hard work pays off if you just keep doing the right thing. And with tops, we're MVP tops account. Sure. So that's a big help, and obviously having Topps products on release day and being able to, especially with Fanatics taking over, and stuff like that. So that's good. With Panini, we're still waiting to get that Panini account. Sure. We're on their
on the wait list.
It's been 4 years, Panini. We're waiting, but we definitely support all the products that are out there. We try to. Through our distributors to get them, even if it's secondary market. Right. But yeah, I mean, and like I said, so we have the hockey products on release day. We've got, the football and basketball stuff on release day, which is big and helps us, and the breaks. Sure. And I do believe that the breaks is a big part of owning a card shop. That it's again another way of bringing revenue into the shop, and so it's important. Yeah, it's important to start, because you're gonna have weeks and days and months where the singles slow down, the hobby boxes slow down. Sure. Even the breaks, there's times where the breaks slow down. So if the breaks slow down, then something else will pick up.
Of course.
And so
So got to have a balance because you never know.
Have the balance, exactly, and that's the beauty about being in this business, and is that if one thing slows down, the other thing picks up. And then,
So I got to ask you a little off topic, but because you mentioned you guys do the brakes, and I think what I'm seeing, I think a lot of people are seeing, is the repackers, and they're everywhere, right? So, what kind of brakes are you guys doing? Are you guys repacking stuff? Are you just doing brakes on the new product? What are your thoughts on the repacking?
We're the traditional old school breakers.
Sure.
So we don't do repacks. I sell cards to repackers, yes, but we do straight, we pre-fill all our brakes, and then we go live once it's full.
Yep.
And the platform we use is Facebook, and then we also stream through YouTube so people can watch their brakes through Facebook and YouTube. And it's the old school way. That's the way brakes used to be.
Yeah.
And then Whatnot came about, and Fanatics Live is now. So it's different. It's people filling live and waiting to fill. But with us, it's pre-filling, and once it's full, then we go live.
Yeah.
So it's a different way of braking, but the repacks, it's fun. Yes, can I do it? I could definitely do it. It's time consuming. It's more work that we could do, but so maybe in the future.
Sure.
Right now we're just sticking to the
standard stuff,
the standard braking and stuff, and customers are liking it, and everybody has their own niche of what works for them, and so far it's been working for us. Can we get bigger? Sure. Yeah. It's a matter of, do I want to get bigger?
Right.
It's just a lot of work. It is definitely a lot of work. Don't get me wrong. It's rewarding, but it's work.
Sure.
It's work. So when we close at 6, but when we close at 6, I'm here till 8, 9 o'clock most nights, because we're either doing the brakes or working on PSA orders, or we're just working on getting a card for a customer that's asking if, hey, can you find me a card?
Right.
So there's always something to do in this, in running and maintaining a retail shop.
Yeah, awesome. And we'll put, for anybody who wants to participate in the breaks, we'll put the link down below. So anybody who wants to participate in his breaks, I think you said it's on Facebook. We'll put the link down below. So it's got some good stuff going on. So we'll put that down below for you guys to check it out. So moving on to the next question here. So it doesn't have to be something in the store. If it is, you can show us. But what would you say is the most valuable item you've sold, whether it be somebody walking into the shop or something you've posted online? Just give us that story. What was the card? And you don't have to give us the price if you don't want to, but kind of give us a little info there.
Well, there's a lot of unique cards that come in to the shop, and people bring cards. The other day, older gentleman brought in a Gaudi Babe Ruth PSA 2 card.
There we go.
I was ready to jump on it and buy it, but he didn't like what the last few sales were, which was around the 10,000, and I was like, I'll give you 9,000. He goes, no, I was looking for, so that's sad that we couldn't, make a deal on that. But we've had cards come to the shop. I mean, we've, a mantle, SGC1 mantle that I was able to purchase a couple years ago. I think it was around 26,000.
Sure.
So, but my biggest sale that we were able to do was through one of the online auction houses. It was a big National Treasures Nathan McKinnon Shield auto that was BGS 95. So they offered, and I'm a big collector of hockey, and Nathan McKinnon is one of my big PCs, and so is Barkov, as you know.
Yep.
And so I couldn't say no. So they offered me $45,000 for the card.
Sure.
So I was like, okay, I can say no to that. They were looking for a card to go on their platform, because I think they were also trying to get onto the Canadian market.
Yep. Okay.
So they wanted a nice big hockey card, and so that was a big transaction for us. And but I mean, there's a lot of cards that come, Jordan rookies, and that was the biggest one. As far as the transaction that we've done.
Sure.
But yeah.
No, that's awesome. That's awesome. And would you say, just kind of going a little off topic, but as far as what you're seeing from your shop, are you guys more into the modern, the vintage, the Pokemon? What really works for you guys?
Again, this all comes down to, like I was saying, I wish we had bigger space, because we don't. And if we did, we definitely would expand to having more vintage. Like, right behind you, we have the vintage section. Mm-hmm. The Pokemon section has its little corner, and so we try, like I said, you have to have a little bit of everything when you run a shop like this, so that, yes, we do turn away people that come in and try to ask for vintage, and I'm like, yes, we only have X amount.
Sure.
So definitely that is the one thing that we would like to have more, obviously, is the space to be able to have more vintage, more Pokemon, more stuff for the shop. But yeah, we have a little bit of everything, and that's you know, even like the high end cards, low end cards, and we try to. But yeah, space would be
space would solve a lot of problems.
Yeah.
So I know you guys got the shop out here in Boca. You know, there's some other shops within the area, but how do you guys really stay connected to the local community and really bring customers into your shop? You know, maybe compared to some other shops. You know, how do you guys just stay connected?
Well, through our Facebook page. That's where we do the breaks, but we also make the announcements. We also have the business Facebook page of the Boca Sports Cards, because we have the Boca Sports Cards page and we also have the Boca Breaks page.
Sure.
So Facebook, definitely. Instagram, we have our Boca Breaks Instagram page where we post all the hits that we pull for customers in our breaks. Plus any announcement that we make is through that. And we definitely could improve in that department as far as getting the message out to our customers more. And but yeah, it's very important to do that as far as when you're running a business, to be able, especially if you have promotions, and if there's any promotions, like right now we have the MVP buyback program going on with Topps.
Sure.
And I know Topps has us on their website saying that we are not, a participant,
right?
In participating in that program. But yes, it's important to have the online
presence to get people in the shop. I gotcha.
Shop, yeah. So
can I catch you? I'm gonna see if I can catch you off guard with a question. What would you say? Because I know you guys do the breaks and stuff. What something more recent? What's the biggest card you guys have pulled in a break for a customer? And is there one that comes to mind, or that somebody maybe got in, cheap at and got this big card?
We pulled so many cards. Back in 2020, we pulled since we're in Florida, a really nice number 2 Nike swoosh Tua.
Oh wow.
Auto.
Nice.
Back then, it was valued at $30,000.
Yeah.
We pulled
down a little bit now.
Yeah, and we pulled a nice flawless Halliburton rookie patch 1 of 1.
Nice.
From Flawless, there's a lot of cards. It's hard for me to really
pick just one. There's just too many.
There's a lot. Yeah. We've had people that have pulled big cards in the shop too.
Right.
Recently, especially C.J. Stroud 101 Select, Will Levis Select 1 of 1 too, and literally in back-to-back boxes.
Yeah. I think I was here, or maybe I heard about it when Eric, didn't he pull an Ohtani? There was a big Ohtani that was pulled here, I think, right?
Yeah. Eric, a few years ago, it was in the archives. It was Ohtani 1 of 1. Yeah, he's pulled some big cards.
Yeah.
He actually pulled a nice LaMelo from Contenders draft. He pulled the gold vinyl 1 of 1.
Oh, wow.
That was when I made him a monster.
Yeah.
And then he couldn't stop over.
Now you hit the one, and now you got to keep going.
Keep going. Yeah, we've had a few big Connor Bedards pulled in the shop recently, Future Watch Autos. So definitely
some big ones.
It's definitely big one.
Yeah.
Actually, we had a monster one that was pulled by Brian a few weeks back from Stadium Club Soccer. It was a redemption of dual booklet auto of Messi and Ronaldo Superfractor. So that was a big one too. We're waiting for that to come in.
Sure.
So yeah, definitely.
No, that's awesome.
I was excited when customers are pulling the big hits, because I know it's not cheap. It's not a cheap hobby to be in. So when they pull, it's very exciting.
And I would imagine too, when they pull it from something from your shop, it's gonna make them want to keep coming back here to open more product, and they kind of have that connection to your shop.
Definitely. Oh yeah, it definitely helps when they hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
No, that's awesome. So I know we talked a lot about kind of how you got going and kind of how the shop has evolved, but somebody who is brand new to the hobby, what advice would you give to that person to, get started? It's not every day somebody can come in and buy a Jordan Fleer and start big.
Right.
How does somebody really get into the hobby and grow their collection, grow a business?
Yeah.
What advice would you give?
Great question. I literally have a lot of customers that are walking in, new guys that are coming back into the hobby and saying, hey, I collected when I was younger, and I have a lot of memories, and I see it's getting hot again, so, can you guide me? Can you help me? And where should I start?
Sure.
And part of what we do here is we always try to educate the customers,
right.
Not only so that they can, come and buy something and you made a sale for the day, it's fine. It's more about educating them where they can make the right decisions to do the right thing by keeping an interest and staying in the hobby.
Sure.
Not just a one-time opening and leaving and never coming back. So it's important to get educated and to educate.
Of course.
And to understand that there's different ways of collecting. You know, there's people that like the thrill of opening the packs. It's expensive opening up the hobby boxes, and then there's the retail boxes too.
Yeah.
But then there's different ways, and I tell them straight out. I'm like, you don't have to buy the boxes. You can just buy the card outright if you like, because you know you have it. You know, you're satisfied with the player that you want.
Yeah.
You know, and then you have different levels of what people can afford. So I say there's the bins which we have that offers cards that are $3 to $20 of good name rookies that you can start with. Buy those, hold them, see where they are in a year or 2, 3 years, 5 years from now. Potentially, then that may be worth getting graded. So like I said, it's very important to educate yourself. And I do believe that it's important for the hobby to make an effort to talk to the new customers, or the new guys that are coming into the hobby, even the kids, especially the kids. Yeah. And teaching, because the kids today, they're coming in.
Yeah, they're you go to these big shows, they're running around with cards that I can't even imagine what they cost.
Crazy. I don't think that's good, because they're just looking for the big thing and the big thing and the big thing. But what about the small? That big thing at one point was small.
Sure.
And it grew. So if they're just jumping all the way to the big thing, where's the fun in collecting? Yeah. And stuff like that. So that's what I always like to talk and with the kids and try to explain to them. And a lot of kids don't know how to look up the value of cards. So when they come in here, I try to explain to them and show them how to look up the cards, and which platforms to go on. So yeah, there's a lot of things that we can definitely that we do and that we try to help the community grow. Because the longer they're collecting, the longer they'll be able to come in here, and the longer we'll be in business. Of course. It works out, and that's how it should be. I live in this business.
And I think what a lot of people, I see a lot of people doing, and it takes time, but you don't have to buy you got the 5.5 Fleer here. You don't have to go straight to the 10. Maybe you buy the 5.5 and eventually you trade up to it when you're in a position where you can get maybe a 7 or an 8, and you don't have to go straight there. You can trade into it.
Exactly. It's just at what level you're at that time financially.
Sure.
And if you can afford to get a Jordan 1 right now, and that's what you could afford, it doesn't mean that you can't upgrade to a Jordan 5 or a higher number later on.
Right.
But it's just you moving towards that direction of building your collection.
Yeah.
For sure.
No, you just got to start somewhere and let it kind of go where it goes over time. Definitely. And based on where you are financially.
For the young collectors, for sure, that's what I would recommend. Just because you have a card that's only worth $20 today, eventually you'll get a card that's worth $50, $100, and on, and it's just patience. Yeah. Patience is very important in this hobby. You have to be very patient.
No, that's great advice. So you got this beautiful card shop. Right, you do the breaks, you got a lot of different things going on, but you personally, what's your favorite part of it all, right? What's your favorite part about being in the hobby and owning a card shop?
Just being able to be around sports in general, because I grew up, just being really a sports fanatic, especially coming from a different country and coming, where they didn't have, baseball and stuff. Right. And I got really interested in baseball and basketball and then football and then hockey. Right. And hockey happens to be my favorite now. It was the last time. But just sports, just being around sports in general. It's not just that. It's also being able to build relationships with people that come into the shop. You become friendly with them. Sure. It's you hear their problems and you talk to them, and it's like being a bartender. Kind of, here, let me get you another box. But that's been definitely great. I really do cherish that, the relationships that I was able to build, and that we are able to build with customers, and even there's a lot of people that went through spurts of opening and then stopping, but they still come once in a while. Hey, how you doing? Say hello and stuff, because you were able to build that relationship, and that's what I believe it's all about. It's just building
I feel like the relationships are almost more important than everything else.
Yeah, I believe that too, because money comes, money goes, and stuff like that. It's just when you build that relationship. But yeah, just being around sports, and that's what got me into staying into sports. Yeah. Obviously, I've done other things. I've had other businesses that I've done and have. But this allows me just to be around. Yeah, sometimes it's overwhelming because there's a lot to do. And there is a lot to do because, again, if you're able to offer a little bit of everything, you have to have your hand in a little bit of everything and try to make sure that everything is running properly. Right. And putting in the right people into helping you do that. and it's always a challenge to have the right people, obviously, doing that. But we're heading in the right direction, with that too. And so it's just being around sports and just talking sports. You have customers coming in. I put a bet on that game, or we're watching that game, and so it's just sports all day.
Yeah, and I think it almost gets you more into, like, for me, I'm a Chicago Cubs fan, right? So, I have the Chris Bryants, I have the Anthony Rizzos, but more recently, just being in the hobby I've bought in some prospect cards, right? And now I'm following these guys in the minors that I wasn't doing that 5 years ago, but now because I have the card, I'm invested, and it's kind of getting me more into the sport. And I think it kind of helps just grow your overall knowledge and appreciation for me, baseball, right? Because now I'm watching these guys in the minors and I'm invested into them.
Exactly. It's just like watching a stock market.
Yeah.
Stock, and you're waiting and watching and waiting for it, and it's now all of a sudden, boom.
Yeah.
Yes, it can go down as well,
of course.
But that's the gamble we take.
So, coming to the end of the interview, but one more question I have for you, or two more questions I have for you is, there's so many things evolving within the hobby, right? What is something that, from your perspective, that doesn't currently exist that would maybe help you manage the store better or help grow the hobby? What's something that doesn't exist that you think would be helpful to yourself or other people within the community?
I think, honestly, what I think the whole just the way that the manufacturers distribute their product should be done differently, especially on the retail side. Why are we having products in Walmart and Target? And I get it. They produce a lot, so they need an outlet to sell everything. But there's so many new shops and old shops that are around today. Why not go exclusively to those shops and say, hey, we're going to give you the retail account, and you'll be allocated X amount based on how much you order, and have customers exclusively come to the local card shops. That way they're supporting the local card shops and buying the retail, and we could put limits on that. So you don't have to have these guys that are coming in and cleaning up the whole shelves and say, okay, there's a four box limit, for example. And that way you keep the prices also where they're supposed to be. I believe that if they went towards that approach, I think it not only would help the shops big time, it would definitely be a big advantage to it for I think, and that's what I believe. Like, I believe if we are taking the time and spending the money and to promote the products for these manufacturers, why not help us in return by pushing the customers coming directly to the shops. Same thing with companies that are selling their own stuff on their own line. So,
and I know why
would a customer come? And I get it. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, you're good.
Why would a customer come to a local card shop when he can order that product for a few bucks cheaper online? Because it's a few bucks cheaper, but instead of, it's because you're giving them that access to do that. But if you didn't have that, then they would be forced to come to the local card shop and support the card shop. Now, I get it. The prices is a price difference sometimes, and sometimes it's a big price difference, just depending on the shop and what the shop bought the product for. But just stuff like that's what I would like to see, where the manufacturers, the companies would make the card shops as an exclusive place for people to be able to come in and just buy what they need.
And I know that was kind of when all the stuff happening with Fanatics, that was a big discussion on how's this gonna affect the hobby shops, how's it gonna affect the general consumer. Do you think if they made it exclusively to the hobby shops, I know it would help the hobby shops, but how would it affect the general consumer who maybe doesn't know about the shops or doesn't go to the shops? Where's the balance?
Well, they could put the more money into advertising the shops, and by doing that and say, hey, go to your local card shops, and in the areas that you are, maybe do a promotion or advertising based on where all the shops are. But it's definitely, the shops are very important for the manufacturers, for the distributors. So I just believe they should utilize them more than they are, and
help get customers into those shops.
Into the shops, exactly. And I get it. Some places don't have shops because they're in the middle of nowhere. So I guess that's why online is important to have as well. But I believe that there's shops popping up everywhere today, and it's a reason for an individual to want to own a shop. Is okay, now Topps has a program where you can own your own shop,
and you're going to get the product, and you're not going to.
Exactly. So there's ways of definitely, I think, advancing and making it better. But if you ask me of what I would like to see change, that would be it, where we get exclusive.
I hear you.
Again, and I'm not even talking about hobby boxes. That's a different thing. That I get it. That's more pricey. I'm just talking about retail even. So yeah.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. So I think the last thing we got to talk about here, whenever I talk about the shop and I come here, there's one area that draws my attention. And I always tell everybody, Dave's got the best Barkov collection I've ever seen. I've never seen one better. So I think we got to talk about what we have in this corner. Yeah. Tell us a little bit about how you got into collecting Barkov, and then I know you mentioned you have a couple things you can show us separately. Yeah. So maybe we'll take a look at those. But just tell us a little bit about this.
Back in 2012, when I was getting into breaks, I was getting into a lot of football. I was actually getting into I think it was Bomber Breaks.
Okay.
Giving a shout out to that. I haven't been in their breaks in a while, but
shout out Bomber Breaks.
Bomber Breaks. That's how I started getting into the breaks. And he was doing football, basketball, and I was always, and was mentioned, hey, can you do any hockey breaks?
Sure.
And stuff. So he was trying to obviously make us happy. So he was able to get some hockey, and we were able to do some hockey. And then I got into a couple other online breaks. I think it was David Adams. It was random breaks, and in the random breaks, and the product was the cup, which is the higher end hockey.
Sure.
And I was able to get in a couple of those breaks in random breaks, and I happened to get in 2 separate breaks the Panthers. I'm like, oh, okay, great. And this is 13-14, where that's the year that the Barkov and Huberdeau and had rookie cards.
Sure.
And I happened to hit 2 nice rookie patch autos. So beautiful 2 rookie patch autos with the Panthers stick logo on it.
Sure.
So that, I'm like, oh wow. So 13-14 was a really big hockey class because there was a strike the year before, so it was a dual class. So it's loaded with really good rookies that are still playing and are good and popular today. So I went heavy on some of the players, and one of the big players was Alexander Barkov and Nathan McKinnon, Philip Forsberg. I have a very big collection of his as well. And then I was just going after the rookie cards and at the same time enjoying watching hockey and stuff like that. And that's how I got throughout the years and just was able to pick up anytime I was able to come across, and then obviously open up the shop, and I figured it was a great way to showcase it.
Sure.
And of course, it's not for sale.
I was just going to ask you, what would it take, if anything, to pry one of these away from you?
It's tough. It's tough, especially, he's definitely great player. So I think he's one of the most underrated players and leaders that we have. We're trying to get him to come in here and take a look at it, and so hopefully we can do that one day.
Sure.
And there's definitely good stuff that we have out here, and then I'll be happy to show you some of the other stuff.
No, that would be great. So, guys, I appreciate you watching Dave. I, of course, appreciate you taking the time to answer some of the questions. So we're going to look around the shop. Maybe we'll rip a box. I think Dave's going to show us some more of the Barkov stuff. But that's it for our first interview here with Dave at Boca Breaks. We're going to be posting, we'll put the address down below. So if you guys want to come by and check it out, we'll put the Facebook link to his break. So a lot of great stuff here, so come and check it out. All right, guys, so I know Dave has some of the Barkov stuff on display, but here I think we got the good stuff. So he's going to show us some of the stuff that he's got tucked away for the Barkov.
Yeah, we have, this is from the cup. This is the cup, a card I was telling you about that I hit in the break from David Adams.
Okay.
That's what got it started it all.
Can you see this one?
It's from the cup. It's a rookie patch auto, and that's what started it all for me and stuff like that. And then these other nice patches from the Ultimate and that. This is a beautiful one from the limited logos from the cup. Beautiful, sick.
And will you grade any of these, or you just kind of keep them?
Right now I'm just keeping them for what it is and stuff. These are from the Ice Premieres. They're numbered to 10. There's only 10 of them out there.
Wow.
I have one more somewhere, but these are beautiful patches and that. Then we also have that from the cup. That's a beautiful card too. We have a couple of his Young Guns. There's a 101 here too.
Nice, you got the 101.
The 101, yeah, from and then back when Panini had hockey too. So there's some Panini 101s too. This is a really nice one. That's SP Game Used. There's the last one, number 2, their jersey is signed, so it's considered a 101.
Yeah.
And so that's a nice one. There's another 101 from Prime.
Sure.
When Panini used to make hockey. Dominion. Yeah. And here's some of the big ones. That's the Quad Diamond.
This is what we want to see.
This is the 101.
Yep. That's the one I wanted to see right there.
Yeah. I'll show you this one first.
He's got the good one over here.
Yeah, that's National Treasures. Yep. Yeah, Panini used to make beautiful That's the big one.
Here's the big one, guys. The National Treasure 101 NHL Shield patch. I got to think of a way to pry this away from him.
Another big one is the black 1 of 1 from the Cup. And then the big one that in the hobby that everybody's always after is the Ultimate Shield.
So we got the Ultimate Shield 101, obviously the NFL or the NHL Shield patch on there. Wow. So this is I think this has got to be the best Barkov collection out there, right?
I think it is the best rookie collection.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, it's something that I don't know if I can part with right now, but it's
we'll talk
great.
separately.
Yeah.
But do you think is this something that'll stay in the PC forever, or is it something if the right offer came through, you would maybe sell one of them?
Yeah, it's always money talks, right?
Yeah.
So if the right offer came along, maybe. But again, it's just I'm a fan, so it's tough. But who knows in the future, maybe.
All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna go think of a number to offer Dave on one of these cards, and then we'll be back. We're gonna rip one of these boxes. But I appreciate you showing us probably the best Barkov rookie collection that's out there. All right, guys. So we're going to rip one of the 2023 Donruss Optics. Obviously, we're downtown hunting. Me and Dave are gonna rip the box. We got 42 cards per box. So let's see what we can get here.
Yep.
So who are some of the rookies in this one?
C.J. Stroud, Anthony Richardson,
Bryce Young. So maybe we'll get some more Bryce.
Your guy, Puka Nacua.
So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 packs. I'm gonna give 3 to Dave.
Cool.
And let's see what we can get. Ooh, there we go. Matt's a Packer fan. We got the Jaden Reed patch card. Okay. So I think the best cards we got here probably these 3 right here.
Yeah.
So we got the Jaden Reed patch card, we got the Don Kincaid blue, and then the Aiden O'Connell. What would you call that?
I forgot what these are called.
Either way, we didn't get any downtowns, but it's always fun to rip the boxes. The Rockets. That's what we'll go with. So that's a wrap here from Boca Breaks with Dave. Appreciate it again. And check out down below. Again, we'll have the link to his Facebook, and we'll have the address below, so come on and check it out.